Ho, 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 and welcome to Mental Monday, the big friendly conversation about mental health with me, Jake Symons. For the next half an hour, we're going to be having just that, a big friendly conversation about mental health. It is our Christmas special. We are live on YouTube right now. It is great to be here with you. It is the 21st, and this is the first of our bonus episodes, if you would call them that, over Christmas. These are extra editions in addition to our every 2 week schedule. And it is a time for us to get through Christmas. If you want to know the running order, they are on the website. This is all links below. But there's obviously today's episode. There'll be one on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, all at the same time. And then resuming again for our usual 2 weekly schedule, happening on the 28th, which is when we'll be back to normal schedule. And that will be the last Mental Monday of the year. So it's great to be here. It's great to be spending another Monday with you for a Christmas special of Mental Monday. I'm just going to waffle on for a couple of minutes just to allow some people to join and for us to actually get started into what we're going to talk about. That was just me doing a sound check. It's great to be here. There's a couple of things I do want to mention, though I do actually need to put my laptop on charge. One moment, sorry. There we go, much better. So, there's not really any house rules here. It's a very open discussion about mental health, and we don't really talk about anything specific, but there is a couple of house rules to know, one of which is, can we avoid triggering topics? So, things such as suicide, self-harm, eating disorders, things that may upset people, or cause them to feel low. Obviously, Samaritan's there if you do feel low at any time, or Childline if you're under 18. And those are 116, 123 for the Samaritans, I believe, and 0800 1111 for Childline. And yeah, so do call those numbers if you need anything. The reason for that is just mainly things that could be triggering about them, not the topics themselves, obviously. And that's just to kind of, this is an open conversation about mental health, and obviously that does involve talking about difficult things. It's mental health, it is difficult. It's just to avoid, this is not a place where if you do get upset by something, I can't help you. Sorry, but I can't help you via YouTube. So if you do get upset, or if someone does get upset watching this, we can't do anything. So we don't want to create a situation we can't really fix. So it's just to avoid that. And right, it is now time, with all that out the way, 3 minutes in, it's time to kick off our first episode of Mental Monday, the big friendly conversation about mental health. And I started writing kind of some bullet points of what to talk about in this bonus episode, and I want to talk about London and the South East going into Tier 3. And yeah, now we're in Tier 4. So, yeah, that's that script out the window. How are you feeling? I think we normally start all these episodes with one simple question, and that is, how are you feeling? Are you getting through it okay? How are you finding it? Do let me know in the chat. As always, you can reach me on Twitter, that is @JacusWrites, or via email, jake@jakesymons.com. And that is what I'm actively checking throughout these shows. So if you do want to email me and have it, let me know if you want it read out or if you don't want it read out, because I'll assume that you do if you do email me throughout the show. Obviously, if you get in touch out when we're not live, it's, you know, in complete confidence, obviously. But it's just throughout the show, this is what I actively check. So do get in touch via those channels, and get involved. So, Tier 4. Yeah, so the kind of difference is if you're in Tier 3, which you probably are if you're in the rest of the UK, except for a few places which are Tier 2 or even Tier 1, maybe you're still in. But the main idea is that non-essential shops are shut. You can't see anyone except for one person outside unless you're in a bubble with them that isn't a Christmas bubble. So you can be in a support bubble with them, but you cannot be in a Christmas bubble with them. So there's different types of bubbles to get your head around. And then there's, non-essential shops are shut. So there's not really much to do. Personal care, that kind of stuff's all shut as well. It's an odd one. They were talking about the mental health impacts on the news. I was watching it just before I came on air, and it was quite depressing, actually, reading about kind of the mental health impacts of this. And obviously there's a lot of devastating stories, and we saw, everyone trying to leave London and evacuate the city. You can kind of understand why, because although it is like do not travel, but then everyone just ignored that, people want to be with that. This is a time of the year for people to get together and enjoy the season. Obviously you can tell by the tinsel behind me I'm not one of the people that left or went anywhere. Still here, unfortunately, in tier 4, but you just want to be with your family, and you want to be with the people you haven't maybe seen since March, and that's 9 months, and that's quite a long time to be away from people, especially people that are close to you, family that you normally may see, and normally that those are the same family members that you're close to, that you have around over Christmas, the mental health impact of making those plans and then having it changed relatively last minute with the cancelling Christmas would be inhumane, and everyone, well, us anyway, Christmas will be fine, and then now it's not. And you can understand why they had to change it, because obviously the virus is a lot worse, this new strain anyway, in terms of how fast it can spread, but that doesn't really kind of fix the mental health side and the kind of the feelings. So how are you feeling about that? We were never going to see anyone anyway for Christmas, because obviously we've been shielding, so the risk would be too high, so too unacceptable for us anyway. So how have your plans been affected? Do let me know in the chat. The chat is there, my Twitter is there, do let me know. Family. I was going to touch on this tomorrow, but I feel like maybe it's time to I feel like it fits better to actually talk about it today, and kind of how would you deal with, because Christmas is a happy time for most people. It's seen as a happy time, although there are people that find Christmas difficult. It could be a time when you've lost loved ones, or your first Christmas. For so many people, I think the figure was nearly 70,000 people that have died of coronavirus in this country. And, that's going to be, for many of them, for all of them, their first Christmas without that person. And that's quite a difficult time, because it's kind of a time for togetherness, really. And it's not for some people. So, that's quite a sad thought. And these are not meant to be, these Mental Mondays are not meant to be, they're meant to be reflective of feelings, and kind of a reflection of my feelings. And so while yes, it's Christmas, and this is a Christmas special, it's not really all jingle bells. And I think that's okay, because while we are going to be talking about self-care things and wrapping up and looking forward to a new year towards the on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, we're kind of at a point now where we don't actually, it's so many plans have been disrupted and so many people are spending this Christmas alone. It's okay to feel like it's not a happy time. It's okay to feel like that. And I think that's the biggest thing that I'd like to point out. That because, you do not have to be happy during this time. It's okay not to be. And I think that's one of the messages I really want to get across today. So, how are you finding that? Does Christmas remind you of people may not be in your life anymore, or maybe you've gone through a breakup and there's people that you no longer are seeing and you were looking forward to spending Christmas with that person, and then obviously now you're not. And how do you actually cope and deal with that? And I think the biggest thing is just to accept that it's going to be a difficult day. And that's the first thing for me, is to just say, right, Christmas, yeah, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a difficult day. And just allow yourself to deal with the day however you need to. So, I mean, there's all the kind of the guides out there that will tell you to go up and, try some coping mechanisms. And yeah, if you can, try them. But I think on such a day like Christmas, because obviously it is a day, it's that one special day, I would say, and, just allow yourself to feel how you feel. And don't put pressure on yourself to feel a different way, or kind of try and feel a different way by using things like coping mechanisms. Don't put pressure on yourself to do that, because it's going to be such a difficult day for you. So just accept that, really. That's kind of how I approach it. Is just accept whatever happens, and how I feel is how I feel, and it doesn't really matter because, I will get through the day, and then I'll be able to use my coping mechanisms and actually get better on other days. But I just feel like sometimes you've just got to ease off the gas a bit and just say, right, it's one day. It's all right just to feel how I feel, and be how I am. So yeah, I mean, that's slightly contrary to what you've probably advised, and obviously everyone's different. So I do put that out there, that if you are someone that relies heavily on coping mechanisms and that is how you get through a day, then yes, keep doing that. But yeah, I just don't put pressure on yourself. It's a difficult day. Just go into it with that realisation, really. And obviously we'll be live to discuss that on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day itself at 7 p.m. And we'll be talking some more about that and other feelings as well. So that would be the first thing I'd kind of throw out there. But yeah, if there's anything you'd like me to talk about during these episodes, or as topics for the new year, either blog topics or video topics, or even Mental Monday topics, which I'm mainly after, because I'm slowly running out of ideas, do say something to me so I can add those in. You can get in touch and just let me know what you'd like to talk about, either this Christmas or going into the new year, for my content calendar. I've been doing my content calendar for the various websites I manage, and I'm currently doing my marketing blog, but I will be looking at our content calendar for our blog, because obviously there's mental health awareness events which I blog about, but there's not really much else other content. So what else could I cover? And that's kind of what I'm looking into right now. So any ideas for that? Now's the time to get them in. So yeah, I just thought I'd talk about feelings. And I know that's kind of depressing in a way. And I do feel like these streams are a lot more for my benefit, in the sense that I can express myself in the way that, just get my thoughts out there. So in essence, I find this very therapeutic, because it actually just helps me get what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what's kind of personal to me out there. And I feel like sharing it helps, and hopefully you do find some value in it as too. I do try and say how I cope with things and how I get through things, because I do try and bring that value as well. but mainly it's just so I can get out my feelings and express myself, and just get it out there. And I feel like that's one of the biggest benefits. So I'm sorry if this is the kind of joyous Christmas episode, but it isn't really a joyous Christmas for many whose lockdown plans have been torn apart, and who are going through difficult times. So I feel like, yeah, it's not joyous for all, but we will definitely have some lighter moments throughout the following episodes, so do stay around for that. But yeah. What are you looking forward to then? So, Christmas is coming. Oh, excuse me. Are you looking forward to anything? Are you full of dread? How's it going? What are you looking forward to and what aren't you? For me, I am looking forward to eating a meal and getting drunk. Although, obviously, we do have Mental Monday in the evening, so I probably won't be drinking that much because I am live, so later in the evening, so I'd rather not be doing that. Yeah, but, after Mental Monday, perhaps, potentially, would be mean we'd be doing Boxing Day with a hangover, but, it's a difficult Christmas. So, I may have a glass or two. Probably stop at 2. But, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, and obviously it's just me and Nang cooking the dinner, so that's going to be fun. And just having a nice meal, I think, having something different, having some kind of sense of normality in a different year that, Christmas is still here. It marks the near into the end of the year, and it just shows that, for me, what we've been through, what we've actually come through this year, Christmas is constant. We've still managed to get to Christmas. And while it's so different for so many, we've still been able to have the celebration, albeit in a way that we do not want to. And I feel like that's something as well to cling on to, is that we still have a day to get with our family on Zoom, and we still do have, however small or however distant it resembles from normality, you still do have that. Others watching this won't have that. So if you do have that and you're watching this right now, that is something to cling on to, and that is something to focus on and to say, I can still make the best of this situation. I still can pull through, and I can still make the best of Christmas. And if you are in a position to do that, that is what to focus on, and all those positives, because you have positives, and that is cling on to them. And then we move on to what we're not looking forward to. And what are we not looking forward to? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna miss people, giving presents, and kind of having that time where you just bounce off other human contacts, which, we do have Zoom and all the Zoom and FaceTime in the world, but there's something, for me anyway, about that human contact and about being with other people physically in the room. And yeah, that's kind of something that I'm going to miss, is just being with people, I guess. Which is, something that I've missed throughout this, as so many of us have done, is just being with people. And it's very simple, and something I guess we took for granted is just seeing with people. So, yeah. It's again more kind of low thoughts, but it's not really. You just got to make the best of the time, and I feel like it would be wrong for me to sit here and say to everyone to just be happy and just smile and get through it, because that's not, it's not really going to help in this time. So there's not really much I can say. So the reason I'm not addressing the point directly and saying like how to get through Christmas or intending to cover that at all is because I don't know. It's a difficult time, and it's just, you got to get through it in however you get through things. and that's different from everyone. So it's not something I can really say and sit here and kind of say this is how to get through it, because I don't know. I'm just gonna take it an hour at a time and just see what happens. So it's quite a difficult one. And yeah, I would just say take it as it comes. It's the only advice I can give, unfortunately, on how to get through Christmas. So there we go. I'm just going to head on over to my Twitter and just check that we haven't had any more messages come through from anyone. And then we're going to move on to the kind of final section of Mental Monday. If you do want to talk about anything else, or if you do have any points to mention, do let me know. Now is the time to get in touch. So it doesn't appear to be the case that anyone's got in touch on Twitter. Just checking the emails. Not sure if... No emails there. So I can understand it is the Christmas episodes. There's not normally as many viewers as our weekday episodes, and obviously it's kind of not in the usual schedule, so that's understandable. But if there is anything and you are watching this and you do want to talk about anything, do just let me know. Or if you just want to chat privately, do just text me after. I am available after if you do want to talk. Although if you obviously need to talk to someone professional, please do. I am not a professional, so that would not be appropriate for you to talk to me in that case. So yeah, go find help if you do need it, and that help is not me. So I thought I'd just add that kind of disclaimer. I'm adding a few more disclaimers than usual, and I've also put one on the website, and that is because I just need to make it clear that this is for like the avoidance of doubt, really, that this is not a substitute for mental health help at all, and it's not meant to be. So I'm just going to be changing some of the wording regarding this to just make it clear that this is just me expressing my feelings and us having a chat about them. So yeah, that is all it is. So I just I just based on some of the messages I get, and some of the messages I get about me, like via other people, that I feel like that is something that I need to increasingly highlight, that this is not professional or practical help of any kind. So yeah, I just feel like, yeah, please don't take it as that. But yeah, we are here to talk about feelings. So I would say, on balance, and although I've sounded quite low at the start of this, I feel like I'm alright. I feel like I'm going to be able to pull through Christmas because I feel confident in that... Excuse me. I feel confident in that I'm going to be able to get through the day and be able to do everything I want to do on Christmas. Obviously, everything that I want to do within the rules. A lot of what I want to do, obviously, I can't do, but that's not because of my mental health. That's just because of Boris and the virus. So, yeah, there's obviously that. Then there's... yeah, I feel on the whole, I will be able to get through. I mean, I probably won't feel great, but I'll feel okay, and I may feel happy. I definitely feel happy coming on here and talking about feelings and talking to all of you, and, you know, kind of sharing my Christmas or my Christmas feelings with you. I feel like that's really helpful for me. So it is great to be able to do that with you. And yeah, I feel like that was a good episode. Well, I'm at the end of my list. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I know we're finishing slightly earlier, so I'm just going to run on for a couple of minutes. Do get any last minute things you do want to say. Now is the time to mention them. I just want to run through then, just in case you missed it at the start, that we are live again on Christmas Eve, which is the 24th. Christmas Day, which is the 25th, and Boxing Day, which is the 26th, and they'll all be at 7 p.m. UK time, so do convert that into your own time zone. And then we'll be live again on the 28th, which is every 2 weeks, because we were live last week. We shouldn't have had an episode this week, so we're live again on the 28th, and that is our final Mental Monday of the year, which is sad, really. It's like a whole year that's just gone, but we are looking forward to a good 2021, and Mental Monday will still continue throughout 2021. It's good to resume it. I restarted Mental Monday. I started Mental Monday in 2018. Then this Mental Health Awareness Week, which was in May, I restarted it after a kind of hiatus, if you will. And now we're back. And we're back every other week. And I find that doing it every 2 weeks gives me much more to talk about. Because obviously I've got 2 weeks worth to talk about, which is much more filling, because the previous problem, which is one of the reasons I stopped it, was that there wasn't really much to talk about, and it just got a bit boring and a bit bland, and there wasn't really any content, you know what I mean? There wasn't just anything to talk about. So definitely having something that I can talk about, that I can enjoy with you, that I can share with you, and that I can hopefully just make you smile, make your day a bit brighter. If I can help in my small way, then I'm here for that. So yeah, reach out to me. I'm available anytime over the Christmas period, basically on all my social medias linked below, which is mainly Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram. Here on YouTube in the comments and chat, and obviously via email as well if you use email. But yeah, it's been great spending my Monday with you, and I will be back on Christmas Eve for another episode, so do join me then. It'll be great to see you. In the meantime, let me know anything you want to talk about. Until then, on Christmas Eve we will be talking about social anxiety and family gatherings, and kind of how those link together, how we feel, how we kind of how we deal with social anxiety, but not just family gatherings, how we deal with our friends, how we deal about talking to our feelings, how we deal with having mental health conversations. So that's another thing I want to touch on, is how do we feel about opening up to people, opening up to our friends, and just like telling our mates that we're not okay. So we'll be discussing that, and we'll kind of be giving some last thoughts about Christmas. And I've just added on there covering whatever's going on in the world, because, yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen by the time we get to Christmas Eve, despite it being only a couple of days away. So, yeah, we shall see what happens. Hopefully we are still in, well, hopefully we're not still in Tier 4, but we will be. So hopefully nothing changes than still being in Tier 4. And, yeah, nothing, hopefully, will come up. But if anything does, we are obviously live, and we are able to script for that very last minute. So, yeah, as always, this was Mental Monday, the big friendly... Let me try that again. As always, this was Mental Monday, the big friendly conversation about mental health with me, Jake Symons. It's been a pleasure spending my Monday evening with you. I will be back on Christmas Eve to talk some more about the things I've just mentioned. I hope you can join me then. But for now, I'm going to be off. If you need to reach me on social media, do let me know. It's been great spending my evening with you, as I've just said. And now I'm repeating myself. So I'm just going to say good night.